Pagan, Fate of Roanoke from Capstone Games and Worm Gold. Here is your design team. Art by such and such. So it's from it's an expandable deduction card game in colonial America of 1587. The essence of the asymmetrical game is the witch's struggle against the witch hunter. So there's all of your contents. There you go. It is 14 and up, 2 players, 60 plus minutes. Let's look inside of this. So we open it up. First thing we have is we have the player boards here. You have the witch, you have the hunter. You're going to be playing cards onto here. If you're interested in to see how this all plays, there will be a link up above to that, how to play. But as I said, you have the witch and you have the hunter boards. We have a mighty thick rule book. It's not as intimidating as it seems, words-wise and such. You have your overview, your objects of the game. Like here's the component overview. That's already 2 pages. The game setup, to see a whole page. So there is a lot of stuff in here to make sure you understand it well. And that does add to some of this heft. Playing the game, the upkeep phase, the cards, the villagers, and that is the other thing, is because it's asymmetric, they explain the hunter cards, the witch cards, then the boards for the hunter and the witch, then actions, then the witch specific actions, the hunter actions, example of play, going through here, how winning the game, advanced rules, so there's different factions and scenario cards you can get. Then there is deck building. When you get those expansions, you can adjust your decks. But here's what the deck started with. Here's a glossary of terms, Kickstarter backers, sponsored pets, that's pretty cool, I like that. Community action cards, expand the possibilities, and then publisher. So if it is something where you want us to see maybe about starting to cover these little expansion packs too, let me know and we can see about doing that. So up first, let's go ahead and get in these little tokens. So this is the witch's bag. She's got her they got their little tokens for their secrets and their favors, and then their action pawns, and that's for their familiar, and then their little dial here. Let me get that out and show you. This is how you keep track of basically your spending power. Influence, I believe it's called. So just a little spinny dial right there. And then the hunter has their own bag. Again, their own dial. They have, I believe it's evidence and accusations, evidence and, I can't remember, clues and evidence maybe. And then we have their action pawns. So we'll get into the decks and the cards here in a minute. So then here are the player boards. These can tell you what you all can do and has the action spots on it. So this is what happens when you visit a villager. The witch can consume a brew. You see a select lightning bolt. That means these are actions that you can do. Then the end is nigh is perform a ritual. Place an action pawn on a ready villager. Same thing with the hunter visiting a villager. You'll see what they basically can do is that they can possibly do actions with their familiars and that they might be able to do something a max of 3 times. They can activate a ready location, which actually the witch can too. Oh wait, ready a villager. Sorry, not activate a ready locations on your player board. Raid a villager. These you have lift enchantment, exonerate a villager, ready a villager, etc. This is the enchantment board that the witch will be putting enchantments on. Normal cost, +1 influence, +2 influence. You then have the boards where the villagers will go. And you'll note these little icons up here will show you which ones go there and which number. So we have the hunter deck, the witch deck, and then this is the villagers and whatnot. So you'll see you have the villagers. On the back it's kind of their color. The villager, there's that little, somewhere, there we go. That one right there, that's what matches up on that board. So here are your different villagers. And then you're getting into, basically these are like the suspect cards or whatever. The witch will draw one of these at the beginning so they know who they are. And then the hunter will be drawing these cards to help figure out who the witch is. So there's those, and then it does come with a couple of, or these are the caretakers for the factions in essence, and then you do have these scenario cards that you can play a game with. So that's all those. Let's get into the hunter deck. So here's your player aid. That grabs your turns. There's all the icons. So hunter, it's clues and evidence. So these are those action cards, or the ready locations. As you see, it needs an action token, so you put your icon there to do what's denoted at the bottom. Up here is your cost. All the cards are different things that I will be kind of covering. Not necessarily in detail, but I will be covering somewhat in that how to play. I'm not going to go into every little detail. I'm going to give you a good general knowledge, though, of how the game is played in that how to play. So I believe there's basically 2 copies of each card in the deck for the starting deck. That's why you'll notice a lot of it's the same. And then we'll get into the witches one here really quick. So there's the hunters. Grab out the witches deck. So again, the player aid has all the icons on the back, and then their cards. So this is a familiar, that's why this one looks different. So when you use your familiar token, you can do this one, or you can do the empowered ability down here, which shows a cost. So a variety of cards here. And so there we go. So that is what is inside the box of Pagan, Fate of Roanoke. If I could get you to please head down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring that bell. That way you can be alerted as we do more videos and the various content that we do. Down there's also ways you can help support the channel by joining our Patreon, hitting up our Ko-fi, or joining the channel with the join button down there. That would give you access to exclusive videos and our videos early. So until next time, go on a witch hunt.